Hello, I'm Dan Silver of NYRA Communications, and welcome to the NYRA Update. We're going to be discussing pertinent topics with key NYRA personnel. Today, we're pleased to have with us NYRA President and CEO, Charlie Hayward. Charlie, thanks a lot for joining us.
Hey, good morning, Dan.
Yep. Let's start out by discussing the Aqueduct Casino project being run by Genting. What is an update on this project? Seems to be going pretty well so far.
Yeah, from the day that they were stipulated on August 3rd, we've been working really closely with them. The big date, which everyone was anticipating, was when they delivered their $380 million check to the state, which they did last week. We're going forward. They're going to have all their plans done by October 11th. We're going to be hopefully having a groundbreaking by the end of the month. So, that would be great for everybody, for Persis, for NYRA, and also great for the community.
A successful casino project at Aqueduct, what would that mean to NYRA, to the horsemen, to the breeders, and where would NYRA possibly use some of that revenue that would come in from that project?
NYRA gets 4% for capital expenditures, and at the current win rate that's conservatively projected, you're probably looking at around $20 million minimum per year for capital expenses, $15 million for operating cost subsidies, and Persis will be about over $30 million, and Breeders' Awards about $5 million. Those numbers we won't achieve until we get up fully operational, but that's huge. On a full year basis right now, we'll do about $100 million in paid purses this year, so a 30% increase in that would be significant for the horsemen.
Now, going back to the Saratoga meet, there was tremendous racing. Three of the top races, the Alabama, the Whitney, and the Travers, if you combine the margins of victory in those races, it was probably less than a head. And when you look back at the Saratoga meet, the racing, the handle, what are your impressions?
Well, we went into the Saratoga meet with some questions, a lot of discussion about 40 days, was that too many? I think we put that to rest. It was really a great 40-day meet. The racing held up extremely well. The other thing was what was going to happen with Monmouth and the Monmouth Elite meet. Fortunately for them, they had a great meet, but at Saratoga, they really didn't have an impact. And, we saw some, as you point out, stakes races are a big part of Saratoga. 2-year-olds, we couldn't have seen bigger and better stars than we saw. All the way around, it was a great meet. I think that the trainers and owners were happy, and certainly the fans were.
Here at Belmont Park for the Fall Championship meet, we've been able to increase purses about 10%. What went into that decision?
Well, going into Saratoga, in 2009, we'd overpaid purses at Saratoga by about $4 million. We'd made some reductions and changes. We expected to still overpay it by about $2.5 million. Because our business was better than what we budgeted and anticipated, we actually underpaid purses by $500,000. So right after the meet got going here at Belmont, we were able to do about a 10% increase. And actually, we're running against budget again. We had a terrific September, great day this past weekend of Jockey Gold Cup. So there's a good possibility that we'll be looking at another purse increase going into Aqueduct.
You mentioned the Jockey Club Gold Cup, an incredible performance by New York-bred Haynesfield. And one of the differences about the meet this year is the last 2 years, the Breeders' Cup has been run on a synthetic surface out in California. This year, it's at Churchill Downs. How has that impacted the stakes here at Belmont?
It's been huge. The program last year was really marginalized to some degree because of the preps being run, on synthetic surfaces. We had a huge day. We had almost $19 million in all-source handle on Saturday. Great competitive fields. Not surprisingly, that was the highest Gold Cup we've had since 2005, which is the last time we had the Breeders' Cup here. So, we're thrilled that it's back on the East Coast. We're thrilled that it's on dirt. I think that, a lot of the winners coming out of the races are going to be significant players. And the Breeders' Cup, we've got a few more races, preps that we'll get in. And I'm excited for the Breeders' Cup this year. And also had the opportunity over the Saratoga meet to talk with Greg Avioli. And, we're getting in line for possibly being the Breeders' Cup host in 2012, something we're working on. They seem to indicate that would be something that they would like. So that's great news for NYRA and for the owners and the fans.
One situation that's been in flux over the last year or so is with New York City OTB. Can you give an update on that situation and the current status?
Yeah, it's they went into bankruptcy in December of 2009. They're short paying the industry. From the period of March through August, they short paid the industry $14 million. They've now, and we were 10 of that 14. As of right now, they owe us over $25 million. We're working on a deal with a creditors committee. There was a big breakthrough recently where DC 37 voted to accept the reduced workforce plan. There's discussions about the creditors taking over the ADW business, which is both their phone and internet. And a lot of people said that, that would be NYRA. It's not going to be NYRA. This would be all the creditors that would, form a new business and be marketing that ADW. But we're still a long ways away from a deal. But Greg Rayburn's done a great job. They've cut a lot of expenses, and I think that we're at the other end going to have a much healthier OTB, which is in the long-term interest of obviously all the racing constituents.
Coming up on November, it's going to be 6 years you've been at NYRA. You've led the company through a number of tricky situations. When you look at the next half decade, what do you hope to see in store for NYRA and also for the industry?
Well, I think that a couple of really important things. Number one is that we've got a reconstituted board as a result of the new franchise agreement in 2008. It's a very strong board, and we've gotten a lot of support, and they've really led us through these things that we've been involved in. And also the management team, we've done, in my view, a great job of bringing new people in from the outside and promoting some talented people that we had here at NYRA. So I think they really set the stage for what we can do. Obviously, with the VLTs coming, we are looking at extensive capital improvement plans. Obviously, there'll be a lot done at Aqueduct with Genting and the money that they're putting into it. We're looking at plans for Belmont and Saratoga. And then longer-term goals, we've got to really address things like the takeout. It's too expensive right now to bet on horses compared to other forms of gambling. And I think that that's, when we have a little bit of money and we were able to step out a little bit, we're looking forward to that. One of our big concerns is the reduction in the foal crop. It's going to be about 27,000 in this country this year, down from 35,000. That's going to put pressure, on field size. It's going to put pressure on race dates. Fortunately, we've been able to hold our 5-day-a-week program and 6 at Saratoga. Saratoga was an indication that we can still do that. But I think there's going to be some further contraction in the business. I'm not sure what the implications are for NYRA. But, from a management perspective, from an employee's perspective, in my view, we're stronger than we've ever been, and I'm really looking forward to tackling some of the things that we've been speaking about.
Charlie Hayward, President and CEO of the New York Racing Association. Thank you very much for joining us.
Thanks, Dan. Always a pleasure.
This has been Dan Silver for the NYRA Update.